Sir?
Oh, my bad. Let's do a build breakdown on this thing. I wanted to do a build breakdown on this thing for a long time, but I guess I just had to get off my lazy butt and do it because a little bit of a secret behind the scenes thing is this thing is for sale, and someone came to look at it and is currently trying to get the cash together. So it's not a done deal. But it may be in the works, but I figured we would go through and do this, and this is more or less just for me, because I always thought it would be cool. It's not a big dog truck or anything like that, but I am proud of what I've built over the years, so let's get to it. It is my 2003 Toyota 4Runner. This old girl's got around 200,000 miles, probably a little bit more. I've had this thing for about 7 to 8 years, I believe, but I didn't start like building it until 2 or 3, maybe even 4 years in. So, but yeah, this is my baby. I had a custom bumper built a long time ago. It's been about 4 or 5 years, but I got some KCs up in the front. These are 05 to 09 projector headlights, auto fab hood pins, because if you have a Toyota, you'll know that once you start jumping and hurting these things, the hood latches don't like to cooperate. So yeah, I'll kind of go through the suspension setup as best I can. Like I said, I might forget some stuff, but I'm running a Dirt King kit. There's a lot of Dirt King stuff on this in the front end. It's on lift spindles, King 2.5 coilover, King 2.5 by 8 triple bypasses. I have some other goodies to help me out in there. So there's limit straps, double shear. It does have an engine cage or engine crossover tube that I'll pop the hood and show that as well. It has cam lockouts, and then I have a full Heim steering set for my dude Blake at RPG, who hooked me up with a full billet steering setup. And then besides that, my wheel and tire setup is a 35-inch Nitto Recon grappler. I really like these because these wheels are 16s. These are Ultra 103 beadlocks, but this was actually a instead of going with a 12.5, these are 11.5, so they're skinny. I know a lot of people were kind of iffy because it's a big heavy girl. It handles so much better with these tires. But yeah, I'll go ahead and pop the hood and get that engine cage looked at. Be warned, this thing is still dirty from the desert. I kind of sprayed it off, but it's still pretty dirty, but figured I'll pop the hood and show what's under here. It's super dirty, everything is nasty, but you can see my nice little engine crossover tube that my buddy Seth hooked up, and it's fully TIG welded, really nice. It's not super crazy, but with this 4Runner and how much room there is in between the hood and the engine, there's no way to throw a crossover tube. So we got that on there. Like I said, I got auto fab hood pins to keep this thing down, and then right here I have my external trans cooler. This thing's a little baby V6, so she gets a little warm sometimes when I'm just smashing on it constantly, but that's pretty much all I can think of. Oh, besides, it does have solid off-road motor mounts and trans mounts, because I was tired of breaking those crappy stock ones. For the interior, it's pretty simple. I wish I kind of did a little bit more of an adult job. I'm trying to un-teenagerize a lot of the things that I did when I was a teenager that I thought were cool, but I have some PRP double wides that fit my big butt in there real nice and comfy. PRP 5-point harnesses, PRP steering wheel. I have a custom shift knob that I made. My Switch Pro is mounted right there in the middle. Controls all the lights on this thing. It's got quite a few lights. Back's pretty much stock. I mean, there's a stock seat back here. I have my tools kind of shoved up in here. You'll see why in the trunk, but a little harness bar that I got off of Amazon, because I don't even know if it was on Amazon. It was some cheap one that I bent, cut, and beat the crap out of to make fit, so my harnesses are somewhat functional. I got a little fire extinguisher on there for scary purposes. To the back of this big old girl, this thick old girl, I got my sticker. Check it out. But in the back there ain't nothing crazy going on. My spare tire with my 215s, because I like to bump when I'm in the desert. I got my chase lights, my Baja Design S2s back here, which if you have Toyota, you know, roll down the back windows, so these are always protected. No one can steal it, because I've seen a lot of that bullshit going around, but also they don't get hurt from the elements. The whole thing is sound deadened front to back. I like lights, so there's lights all over this thing. The interior lights are KC Cyclones. Yeah. I get this question a lot on this thing about the front glass. Not a lot of companies make glass for this thing, and I'm not really a boxy glass kind of guy, especially for a somewhat newer, not old school OBS pre-runner kind of deal. These are advanced fiberglass, 4.5 inch over fenders, but I had them trimmed because I like it to look more aggressive, and I don't really like that giant blocky look to it, so I feel like this cut looks super sick. Rear suspension setup. I did not want to go into the cab. I wanted to keep the cab just because, I mean, it's a sealed cab still. I'd like to do all that big stuff, but that would be way down the line. But anyway, so I have a CaliFab 3-link on this. It's got Dobinson's progressive rate springs, King 2.5 by 12 triple bypasses. It has a poly bump on it, and this thing eats real good for what it is. It's not a super expensive rear end setup, but it handles really well for what it is. And these bypasses were tuned by Kevin from Dialed, so thank you to him, because these things ride great. As far as the rear end in this thing, it is still a stock, stock 8-inch from this car. Not from this car though, because if you know, you know. Some idiot hit this thing in the front of my house, like, I don't know, a couple days after I put the bypasses on the front, and bent the axle like a banana. So I had to go through and redo all that. I thought about doing a 9-inch, but I found a housing with a third member in it already for $200 in San Diego. So I raced down there, grabbed it out, and basically just went with the same setup, but everything brand new. So all of this whole rear end's basically brand spanking new with all the best parts I could. It's 488s. It has a spool. I believe they're nitro gears. The drive shaft is completely stock. But besides that, the rear end handles great for what I'm doing with it. The spool, I get a lot of shit about that, like, oh, you breaking axle shafts, or, you know, how annoying is it? And as I'm getting older, it's getting a little annoying because I drive it on the street too, but I still love it because I'm still a kid at heart. But yeah.
See this? Not for long.
On this rear 3-link, I think I ended up going, so these are Johnny joints. A lot of people ask why I didn't go Heim. I don't believe that CaliFab makes this kit with Heims, but it's great and they're regreasable. Besides that, this thing is what I like to call ghetto tubbed. I trimmed these as best as I could, which obviously isn't great. This side's ugly because I blew these fenders. If you have a 4Runner, especially 4th gen, you know that these suck. Like, these all fall off. I think I've replaced these on this thing over the last 8 years probably 4 or 5 times. I even bought a second 4Runner just to take all these off, like a scrap 4Runner, just so I can reuse all of these. I know I kind of went over the lighting, but this thing is lights everywhere. KC's in the front. It's got 20 rock lights all the way around. It was some box of Amazon specials that we hooked up, and was done really poorly the first time, not by me, but luckily I have good friends that help me with everything. So my buddy Noah helped me go through this whole thing, and Nick, and do it the right way. It's got KC lights on the inside. It's got Baja Design chase lights. This thing is super bright at night, but I don't know if I'm going to stay here long enough to turn them on. Maybe I'll just include a clip of it turning on at night because it looks like a spaceship to me, but it's also really hot and I can't see. So I'm trying to think of some stuff that I may forget or whatever, but as far as that, I mean, this thing has been my baby forever. It's handled everything I've thrown at it. Kind of sad to see it go if it does get sold, but I mean, it'll forever be known as my 4Runner. But trying to think of what else. It's got a rugged whip on top, and it looks bitchin'. That's it. I don't know what else to say. I think that's pretty much it without going too nerdy in depth about this thing, but I figured I really want and need to do it so that I can go back and watch it if I want to. If this thing gets sold. If it gets sold, cool. If not, I'm not in a rush because I do love this thing, but I think it's time to move on to something else. But yeah, I think that's pretty much all I have for this video. Thank you to my lovely fiance for filming me because I'm awkward and don't like to film myself, but so that's pretty much it. I don't really know how to film outros, but that would be kind of funny, like to do one of those old Hoonigan things, because I used to love those, where they were like, "That's a wrap!" Destroyed by something.